What is going on, everybody? We are back with another reaction video. Thank you so much for joining me today. The support truly means a lot. And to all my new viewers stopping by, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. And thank you so much for choosing me to watch today. It means a lot. Today, I'll be checking out another highly recommended video. But before we jump right into this video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Here we go. I'm not wasting no more time. Today, I will be checking out the European Union Explained. But before we get into this video, I want to read this quick article about the European Union. The European Union is a supranational political and economic union of 27 member states that are located primarily in Europe. The union has a total area of 4,233,255 kilometers squared and an estimated total population of over 449 million. The EU is often described as a political entity, combining the characteristics of both a federation and a confederation. Let's jump right into this video, man. I'm looking forward to this one right here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today to watch this wonderful, fabulous, amazing, intriguing video. And thank you once again for all the recommendations, man. It really means a lot, and it keeps me busy on a daily basis, man. Educating myself on a daily basis. I mean, my goodness, there's always something to learn. I don't care how smart you are. There is always something to learn. So let's jump right into this video. Today, I will be reacting to the European Union Explained. I needed this explanation too. I need a better understanding of the European Union. Europe don't got no borders, right? European Union does not have any borders.
Where is the European Union? Obviously here somewhere, but much...
I'm sorry to pause so soon, because I feel like all the countries within Europe are able to how should I say? Okay, everybody that lives within the countries of Europe, even the 3 countries outside of Europe that are not in the European Union, I feel like everybody is still allowed to transition over to these other countries in Europe from their country if they wanted to, freely, since there's no borders. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? I know I probably explained that in a confusing ways because I was trying to wrap my head around my thoughts, but that's how I'm seeing this. Everybody get to move around, transition off to different areas if they feel like their area may be too big, too small, I don't know, too hot, too cold, too dangerous. Too dangerous? Nah, that's only in America.
Much like the European continent itself, which has an unclear boundary, the European Union also has some fuzzy edges to it.
Okay.
To start, the official members of the European Union are, in decreasing order of population, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, Italy, Spain, Poland, Romania, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Greece, Belgium, Portugal, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Sweden, Austria, Bulgaria, Denmark, Slovakia, Finland, Ireland, Croatia, Lithuania, Latvia, Slovenia, Estonia, Cyprus, Luxembourg, and Malta. The edges of the EU will probably continue to expand further out as there are other countries in various stages of trying to become a member. How the EU works is hideously complicated and a story for another time, but for this video you need know only 3 things. First, countries pay membership dues, and second, vote on the laws they all must follow.
Countries pay membership dues. Countries pay membership dues to... Wait, to who? To who are they paying it to? And is that country bossing them around? Do they have to follow that country's laws? Probably not. Probably not. Or is it just in case they want to move to that country? Let me see, man.
And third, citizens of member countries are automatically European Union citizens as well. This last means that if you're a citizen of any of these countries, you are free to live and work and retire in any of the others, which is nice, especially if you think your country is too big or too small or too hot.
You know what, man? Hold on real quick.
Well, this last means that if you're a citizen of any of these countries, you are free to live and work and retire in any of the others, which is nice, especially if you think your country is too big or too small or too hot or too cold. The European Union gives you options. By the way, did you notice how all 3 of these statements have asterisks attached to this unhelpful footnote? Well, get used to it. Europe loves asterisks that add exceptions to complicated agreements. These 3, for example, point us towards the first bit of border fuzziness with Norway, Iceland, and Little Liechtenstein, none of which are in the European Union, but if you're an EU citizen, you can live in these countries, and Norwegians, Icelanders...
So you can! I didn't know if I had the right thought process. So you actually can. See, guys, I know a little bit about the European Union. I don't know too much about it. I probably know about 20-30% about it. I'm being honest. And as to how it was formed, that's a whole nother video we'll get into. But you see what I'm saying? He's saying everything I was saying.
or Liechtensteiners can live in yours. Why? In exchange for freedom of movement of people, they have to pay membership fees to the European Union, even though they aren't a part of it, and thus don't get a say in its laws that they still have to follow. This arrangement is the European Economic Area, and it sounds like a
Whoa. And wait.
have to pay membership fees to the European Union, even though they aren't a part of it, and thus don't get a say in its laws that they
Okay, forgive me earlier for when I said, well, what country are they paying? They're giving this money up to the European Union. It's 11, look, it's 11 p.m. It is 10:56 p.m. at night right now, guys. I'm sorry, I've been up since 6 a.m. That's no excuse, though. That's no excuse, but my mind's a little foggy right now. So they're paying this money to the European Union. Okay. I'm glad we got that covered. And now we are going to make rules you must follow. I thought they wouldn't have to follow the same. Okay, you have to follow these rules. Okay, so I didn't have it all the way 100% correct. All right.
still have to follow. This arrangement is the European Economic Area, and it sounds like a terrible deal were it not for that asterisk which grants EEA, but not EU members, a pass on some areas of law, notably farming and fishing, something a country like, say, Iceland might care quite a lot about running themselves.
Right.
Between the European Union and the European Economic Area, the continent looks mostly covered, with the notable exception of Switzerland, who remains neutral and fiercely independent, except for her participation in the Schengen area. If you're from a country that keeps her borders extremely clean and or well patrolled, the Schengen area is a bit mind-blowing because it's an agreement between countries to take a meh approach to borders. In the Schengen area, international boundaries look like this. No border officers or passport checks of any kind. You can walk from Lisbon to Tallinn without—
Hold on, man. What is this? What is this?
Countries to take a meh approach to borders. In the Schengen area, international boundaries look like this.
Okay,
no border
on.
officers or passport
Take a meh approach to borders. And this is what...
checks of any kind. You can walk from Lisbon to Tallinn without identification or the need to answer the question business or pleasure. For Switzerland, being part of Schengen but not part of the European Union means that non-Swiss can check in any time they like, but they can never stay. This kumbaya approach to borders isn't appreciated by everyone in the EU, most loudly the United Kingdom and Ireland, who argue that islands are different. Thus, to get onto these fair isles, you'll need a passport and a good reason. Britannia's reluctance to get fully involved with the EU brings us to the next topic, money. The European Union has its own fancy currency, the euro, used by the majority but not all of the European Union members. This economic union is called the Eurozone, and to join, a country must first reach certain financial goals, and lying about reaching those goals is certainly not something anyone would do. Most of the non-Eurozone members, when they meet the goals, will ditch their local currency in favor of the euro, but 3 of them, Denmark, Sweden, and of course the United Kingdom, have asterisks attached to the euro section of the treaty, giving them a permanent opt-out. And weirdly, 4 tiny European countries, Andorra, San Marino, Monaco, and Vatican City, have an asterisk giving them the exact reverse, the right to print and use euros as their money despite not being in the European Union at all. So that's the big picture. There's the EU, which makes all the rules, the Eurozone inside of it with a common currency, the European Economic Area outside of it where people can move freely, and the selective Schengen for countries that think borders just aren't worth the hassle. As you can see, there's some strange overlap with these borders, but we're not done talking about complications by a long shot, once again, because empire. So
Let's be honest, do we really need a border there? That's the least of their issues, man.
Portugal and Spain have islands from their colonial days that they've never parted with. These are the Madeira and Canary Islands off the coast of Africa and the Azores well into the Atlantic. Because these islands are Spanish and Portuguese, they're part of the European Union as well. Adding a few islands to the EU's borders isn't a big deal until you consider France, the queen of not letting go. She still holds on to a bunch of islands in the Caribbean, Reunion off the coast of Madagascar, and French Guiana in South America. As far as France is concerned, these are France too, which
I know he's just said the borders word. Are we using borders or not? We're not really using borders because, I mean, we got a border, but it's not patrolled. So would you really... Oh, yes, you would count it a border. Yes, you would counter the border, even if it's not patrolled, right? Duh. This is the border here, and this is the border here. Look, cross over it. Yes. Okay, forget what I'm talking about. Just because it's a border don't mean it needs to be patrolled. I'm thinking that European Union, I'm thinking that Europe has no borders, but it has a border, but it's just not patrolled. Put it that way.
Single-handedly extends the
It's not a
edge-to-edge
necessity.
distance of the European Union across a third of the Earth's circumference. Collectively, these bits of France, Spain, and Portugal are called the outermost regions, and they're the result of the simple answer to empire: just keep it. On the other hand, there's the United Kingdom, the master of maintaining complicated relationships with her quasi-former lands, and she's by no means alone in this on such an empire-happy continent. The Netherlands and Denmark and France, again, all have what the European Union calls overseas territories. They're not part of the European Union, instead they're a bottomless well of asterisks due to their complicated relationships with both the European Union and their associated countries, which makes it hard to say anything meaningful about them as a group, but in general, European Union law doesn't apply to these places, though in general, the people who live there are European Union citizens because in general, they have the citizenship of their associated country, so in general, they can live anywhere in the EU they want, but in general, other European Union citizens can't freely move to these territories, which makes these places a weird, semi-permeable membrane of the European Union proper, and the final part we're going to talk about in detail, even though there are still many more one-off asterisks you might stumble upon, such as the Isle of Man, or those Spanish cities in North Africa, or Gibraltar, who pretends to be part of southwest England sometimes, or that region in Greece where it's totally legal to ban women, or Saba and friends, who are part of the Netherlands and so should be part of the EU but aren't, or the Faroe Islands, upon which while citizens of Denmark live, they lose their EU citizenship, and on it goes. These asterisks almost never end, but this video must.
Oh, wait. How you gonna end it off like that? I mean, I'm glad I was able to get what I could take out this video, honestly. Very informative. And how long was this video? Only like 5 minutes. My goodness. I'm gonna have to do some extra background research pertaining to the European Union if I want an even better understanding. Because I'm more interested into how did the Europeans start in general. If there was any information that I missed from this video, please feel free to inform me down below in the comment section. I highly appreciate it. Like I said, guys, he was talking really fast, and this video was bunched up into 5 minutes. But look, I took what I could get out of it, and I think I got a lot out of it. But there is still more to learn. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today to watch this amazing video. If you guys enjoyed this video just as much as myself, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Feel free to spam my comment section and use that suggestion link down below in my description if you would like to recommend some more of these phenomenal videos for me myself to react to. And please feel free to share this video and this channel to your friends and family members, whoever you feel may be interested in joining us for these reactions. And tell them we on the road to 10K and we gonna hit it before the summertime. We gonna hit it. We are 2,000 away. Less than 2,000 away. Less than 2,000 away. Once again, I will catch you guys in the next reaction video. Stay safe.